you are bankrupt. Not in your bank account, but in your spirit. You have spent your entire life throwing your energy into a bottomless pit, begging for validation, begging to be understood, begging to be seen. And what has it brought you? Nothing but exhaustion. You walk into a room and you feel the need to fill the silence. You feel the anxiety clawing music at your throat, urging you to speak, to explain, to justify your existence. You think that if you just say the right words, if you just explain yourself one more time, music, they will finally respect you. But look around you. The people you are trying to impress are laughing at you. Not openly perhaps, but in the dark corners of their minds they view you as a resource that gives itself away for free. Machiavelli saw this centuries ago in the courts of Florence. He watched as desperate men tried to buy favor with their words. He saw merchants trying to negotiate with princes by talking until their lungs gave out. And he saw them fail one by one because in the game of power, the currency is not words. The currency is absence. You have been told that communication is mute the key to everything. That is a lie designed to make you manageable. The truth, the cold, sharp truth that cuts through the noise of modern society, is that availability is the death of respect. The more you are seen, the more you are heard, the more common you appear. And what is common has no value. Think of the last time you bought something rare. A diamond, a limited edition watch, a piece of land. Did the seller chase you down the street, begging you to take it? Did they write you long paragraphs explaining why you should love it? No. They sat back. They let the silence do the work. They knew the value of what they held, and they were willing to walk music away. You, my friend, have never been willing to walk away, and that is why you have no power. Tonight, music, we are going to perform surgery on your behavior. We are going to cut out music, the part of you that needs approval. We are going to install the software of the kings. This is not about being rude. This is not about being petty. This is about the weaponization of silence. This is the art of absence. Let us music go back to the year 1661, France. A young King Louis XIV takes music the throne. The court is filled with snakes, gossips, and nobles who think they can manipulate this young music boy. They swarm around him, talking, suggesting, demanding. They fill the air with noise, trying to steer the ship of state for their own gain. They expect the king to argue, to debate, to engage in their petty games. But Louis does something that terrifies them. He does not shout. He does not explain. When a minister music comes to him with a desperate request, begging for an answer, talking for 20 minutes about why something must be music done, the king listens. He sits on his throne, his face a mask of stone. He does not nod, he does not smile. He sits on his throne, his face a mask of stone. He does not nod, he does not music smile. He simply waits until the man runs out of breath. And then the king speaks 3 words. I shall see, I shall see. And then he turns away. The minister is left standing in the cold, crushing weight of silence. He panics. Did the king agree? Is the king angry? Is he planning to execute me? The minister goes home and cannot sleep. He obsessively analyzes those 3 words. He begins to work harder to serve better, hoping muse to break the code of the king's silence. With silence, Louis XIV music tamed the most arrogant nobles in Europe. He made them beg for a glance, for a nod, for a single word. He understood that by withdrawing his presence, he became a god in their eyes. You are not a king yet, but you are about to learn how to operate like one. The first step is to understand the physics of human desire. Humans are hardwired to chase what retreats. It is a predatory instinct left over from our days in the jungle. When something runs, we chase. When something sits still and offers itself to us, we lose interest. We might eat it, but we do not respect it. By constantly being available, by answering every text within seconds, music by picking up the phone on the first ring, by explaining your decisions to people who don't matter, music, you are killing the mystery. You are becoming a dead carcass on the side of the road waiting to be consumed. Robert Greene in the 48 Laws of Power codified music this as the 16th law. Use absence to increase respect and honor. But how do you apply this in a world that demands constant connection? How do you use silence when your phone is in your pocket 24 hours a day? It starts with the micro withdrawal. The next time someone disrespects you even slightly, your instinct will be to correct them, to fight back, to get angry. That is the reaction of a slave. A slave must music defend his ego because he has nothing else. A master ignores the insult because the opinion of an ant does not concern a giant ant. Imagine a scenario. You are in a negotiation or perhaps a disagreement with a partner. They say something hurtful. They try to bait you into an argument. The old you would jump into the fire. The old you would raise your voice. But the new you looks at them for 3 music seconds too long. You hold eye contact, but you say nothing. You let the silence stretch until it becomes uncomfortable. You let the air leave the room. And then you turn your attention to something else. You check your watch. You look at a music document. You respond to a different person. You have just signaled that they do not exist. You have just shattered their ego without speaking a single syllable. You check your watch. You look at a document. You respond to a different person. You have just signaled that they do not exist. You have just shattered their ego without speaking a single syllable. This is the power of the void. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you create a void with music, your silence, other people feel a compulsive need to fill it. They will start talking. They will start revealing their true intentions. Music, they will start apologizing. They will tell you things they meant to keep secret just to break the tension you created. By doing nothing, you extract music everything. It is the most ruthless psychological maneuver you can execute. Music, and it requires zero energy. But be warned, this is not for the faint of heart. When you first start using absence, people will get angry. They will accuse you of being cold. They will say you have changed. Good. Let them get music angry. Their anger is proof that they are losing control over you. They are trying to drag music you back into the mud where they can wrestle with you. Do not go down there. Stay in the high tower of your silence. Let's dig deeper into the psychology of why this works. It is called music, the Zygarnik effect. The human mind remembers unfinished tasks better than finished ones. When you explain yourself fully, you are a finished music task. The person understands you, categorizes you, and puts you away in a mental box. They are done with you. But when you are vague, when you are silent, when you withdraw, you are an open loop, you are an unfinished puzzle. Their brain cannot close the file on you. They will think about you when they are driving. They will think about you before they sleep. Music, you are hacking their mind, occupying their thoughts rent-free simply by holding back. Consider the concept of music starvation. If you feed a man every day, he forgets to be grateful for the food. He expects it, he demands it. If you stop feeding him, he realizes his survival depends on you. You have been feeding people your attention, your love, your validation, and your time. You have fed them until they are fat and lazy with your energy. And now you wonder why they do not appreciate you. Starve them. Pull back your attention. Make your presence a luxury, not a daily ration. There is a story of a famous Hollywood actress in the 1950 seconds. She was beautiful, yes, but there were many beautiful women. What made her an icon was her unavailability. She would disappear for weeks. She would not give interviews. She would walk into a party, stay for 20 music minutes, and leave without saying goodbye. The men went mad. The producers offered her millions. The public obsessed over her. Why? Because she belonged to herself. In a world of people who belong to everyone else, she was a sovereign music state. You must declare independence. You must become a sovereign state. This applies to your work as well. The employee who is always available, who music says yes to every project, who answers emails at midnight, is not the one who gets promoted to CEO. That person is the workhorse. They are reliable, and therefore they are abused. The leader is the one who chooses when to engage. The leader is the one whose time is protected by layers of gatekeepers, or in your case, layers mute of boundaries. When you are scarce, your value goes up. It is basic economics, supply and demand. If your supply of attention is infinite, your value is zero. Reduce the supply and watch the demand skyrocket. But there is a danger here. You cannot just disappear and expect to be missed if you have no value to begin with. Absence only works if your presence was powerful. This is the trap many weak men fall into. They think that by hiding in their basement they are being Machiavellian. No, you are just hiding. You must first build value. You must be excellent at what you do. You must be strong, fit, intelligent, and capable. And then you withdraw. It is the contrast that kills them. It is the sun going behind a cloud that music makes people cold. If there was never any sun, nobody cares about the cloud. So the strategy is twofold. Phase 1, build your empire. Work on yourself in the shadows. Become formidable. Phase 2, distribute yourself sparingly. Treat your words like gold coins. Do not throw them in the mud. If someone asks you a foolish question, do not answer. If someone disrespects your time, do not complain. Simply leave. The act of leaving is the most powerful negotiation tactic in the world. The person who is willing to walk away music holds 100% of the power. Have you ever noticed how the most charismatic people are often the quietest? They are not music the clowns dancing for attention. They are the observers. They are the ones watching the room, taking in data, calculating their moves. When they finally music speak, everyone shuts up to listen because they know that if this person is speaking, it must be important. You want to music be that person. You want your voice to command the room, not just add to the noise. Let's talk about ghosting in a strategic sense. Not the immature act of ignoring a date, but the strategic ghosting of toxicity. There are people in your life right now who are parasites. They feed on your emotional reaction. They create drama because they are bored. They poke you to see if you will jump. The next time they poke you, become a ghost. No anger, no blocking, no big speech about how they hurt you. Just music, nothing. You become a wall. They throw a ball at the wall and it bounces back. They scream at the wall and it echoes back. Eventually, they will tire themselves out and move on to a softer target. You have preserved your energy. You have won the war without firing a shot. You have preserved your energy. You have won the war without firing a shot. This is the essence of Sun Tzu as much as Machiavelli. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Silence is that art. When you music argue, you are fighting. When you ignore, you are subduing. You are telling the universe that this person is beneath the level of combat. They are not a soldier worthy of your sword. They are a fly worthy of your indifference. Think about the concept of the mystery. We live in an age of oversharing. People post their breakfast, their breakups, their gym workouts, their inner thoughts on social media. They are open books and open books are boring. Once you read the last page, you put it on the shelf and never touch it again. Do not be an open book. Be a manuscript written in a dead language. Be a cipher. Let them guess what you are thinking. Let them wonder what you are doing. When people ask you what have you been up to, do not give them a 10-minute itinerary of your week. Say working on some interesting projects and snorts, leave it at music that. Smile, change the subject. Watch their eyes. They will wonder what projects. Is he making money? Is he successful? Who is he working with? Their imagination will create a version of you that is far music more impressive than reality. You are leveraging their own mind to build your legend. This is how cults are formed. This is how leaders are made. This is how seduction works. It is all about the space between the notes. It is about the things left unsaid. In music, it is the silence that gives the rhythm its power. If there were no pauses, it would just be noise. You have been living your life as noise. It is time to introduce the rhythm. It is time to introduce the silence. I want you to conduct an audit of your life. Look at your text messages. Look at your call logs. Who are you chasing? Who are you double texting? Who are you writing long paragraphs to? Stop immediately. Delete the draft. Put the phone down. Go to the gym. Read a book. Stare at a wall. Do anything other than give that energy away. Feel the pain of withdrawal. It will hurt. Your ego will scream. But if I don't answer, they will forget me. Let them. If they forget you because you stopped chasing, they never cared about you to begin with. You are clearing the dead wood from the forest so that new strong trees can music grow. You are training yourself to be self-sufficient. A man who needs nothing from others is a dangerous man. A man who is comfortable in silence is a man who is comfortable with himself. Most people are terrified of music silence, because in the quiet they have to face their own demons. They have to hear their own thoughts. So they turn on the TV, music they call a friend, they drink, they talk, they run from themselves. But you will face yourself. You will make friends with the darkness. And once you are no longer afraid of the silence, you can wield it as a sword. Now we music escalate. You have learned the theory, you understand why you must withdraw. But how do you execute this when the world is screaming for your attention? How do you maintain the silence when your heart is pounding, begging you to break? We move now from defense to offense. We move from protecting yourself to controlling others. This brings us to the concept of intermittent reinforcement. This is the psychological principle that casinos use to create addicts. If a slot machine gave you money every single time you pulled the lever, you would get bored. If it never gave you money, you would leave. But because it gives you a reward, sometimes unpredictably you become a slave to the machine. You keep pulling the lever hoping for that hit of dopamine. Music, you must become the slot machine. Right now you are a vending machine. People push a button and you dispense attention. Predictable, boring, cheap. You must change the wiring. Be warm. Music, be engaging. Give them a glimpse of your best self. And then go cold. Music, pull back. Create a gap. In that gap, their mind will go into overdrive. Did I do something wrong? Does he not like me anymore? What is he doing? They will start to chase you to get that warmth back. And when they finally reach out, you reward them, but only slightly. You are training them like Pavlov's dog to seek your mute validation. This sounds cruel. I can hear your hesitation. You have been raised to be nice. You have been taught that consistency is a virtue in the realm of morality, perhaps. But in the realm of power, consistency is a weakness. Predictability allows your enemies to plan their attacks. It allows your partners to take you for granted by becoming music unpredictable through the strategic use of silence. You become dangerous and people music respect what is dangerous. Let's talk about the obsidian wall. This is a technique for dealing with the toxic, the narcissistic, and the manipulative. You know these music people. They thrive on your emotional reaction. They will accuse you, gaslight you, and twist your words until you are screaming in frustration. When you scream, they win. They have fed off your energy. The next time they launch an attack, I want you to visualize a wall of black glass, obsidian, between you and them. You see them, you hear them, but nothing passes through the wall. You do not defend yourself, you do not counterattack, you simply observe. When they finish music their tirade, you look at them with zero emotion, a flat, dead music stare, and you say nothing. Or perhaps you say something completely irrelevant. I think it might rain later. This destroys them. It signals that their words carry no weight. It signals that their emotional storm cannot even ruffle your coat. You are denying them the oxygen they need to burn. Watching a manipulator panic when their tactics fail to get a reaction is one of the most satisfying experiences of a strong man's life. It is the ultimate reversal of power. But silence is also your greatest ally in negotiation. In business, the person who speaks first loses. The person who feels music the need to fill the awkward pause is the one who gives away leverage. Next time you're in a deal, make your offer and then shut your mouth, zip it, music lock it, throw away the key. Sit there and look at them. The silence will music become heavy. It will press down on their chest. They will feel an intense urge to speak, music to justify, to lower their price just to break the tension. Let them. You are comfortable in the void. You are collecting the spoils of their anxiety. Robert Greene warns us in Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Why? Because words are dangerous. The more you speak, the higher the chance you will say something foolish. The more you speak, the more you reveal your intentions. The powerful man is an enigma. He speaks in short, decisive sentences. He does not babble. He does not gossip. He keeps his cards pressed tight against his chest. Think of the Godfather archetype. Does the Don run around screaming? Does he explain his plans music to his soldiers? No, he whispers. And because he whispers, everyone leans in. Everyone holds their breath. His silence commands more authority than 1,000 screaming generals. When you are silent, people project intelligence onto you. They assume you know something they don't. They assume you are calculating a master plan. Even if you are just thinking about what to have for dinner, your silence makes you look profound. Let them project. Let them build your statue in their minds. Now let's address the fear of losing people. If I ignore them, they will leave. Let me tell you a secret about human nature. We only value what we have to work for. We do not value music, what is thrown at our feet. If someone leaves because you stopped being their emotional servant, then they were never with you. They were using you. Let them go. The trash is taking itself out, but for the ones who matter, your absence will act as a reset button. It will remind them of your worth. It's like oxygen. You don't think about breathing until you are underwater. Put them underwater for a moment, let them struggle for air. When you return, they will appreciate every breath of your presence. This brings us to the return. You cannot music be absent forever. You are not a monk living in a cave. You are a man building an empire in the real world. The goal of absence is to make your presence more impactful. When you do speak, make it count. When you do show up, be fully there. Be charismatic, be sharp, be undeniable. The contrast between your cold absence and your burning presence is what creates charisma. It is the cycle of day and night. If it were always day, the sun would burn music us. If it were always night, we would freeze. You must be both. Avoid the trap of the petty ghost. Do not use silence to punish people for small mistakes. That is childish. That is what weak people do. Use silence music to protect your boundaries, to elevate your value, and to remove yourself from music disrespect. There is a difference between a king who withdraws to his castle and a child who hides under his music bed. Be the king. Let's look at the ultimate application of this. The walk away. There is no power greater than the ability to walk away from a deal, a relationship, or a situation that does not serve you. Most people stay because they are afraid of the unknown. They cling to the familiar even if it is toxic. But you are willing to step into the void. You are willing to burn the bridge and never look back. When you walk away without a word, without a fight, without a backward glance, you haunt them. They will wonder why you didn't fight for them. They will wonder if you ever cared. They will replay the ending in their heads 1,000 times, trying to music find closure. But you will not give them closure. You will give them silence. And in that silence, you become immortal in their memory. So here is your mission. For the next 7 days, I want you music to practice the diet of words. Cut your speaking by 50%. Before you say anything, ask yourself, is music this necessary? Does this add value or am I just filling the silence? If it is not necessary, swallow it. Keep it inside. Music, let the energy build up. When you receive a text that demands your attention but deserves none, do not reply. Put the phone down. Go back to your work. Feel the power of not reacting. When someone tries to provoke you, look at them, smile music slightly, and walk away. When you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. Let them misunderstand you. Let them be wrong about you. Their opinion is not your reality. You are building a fortress of solitude where your mind can sharpen, where your plans can mature, where your strength can grow without being drained by the parasites of the world. The world is noisy. It is a cacophony of weak people screaming to be heard. Do not join the choir, be the conductor. The conductor often stands in silence, baton raised, controlling the entire orchestra with a subtle movement of his hand. They will call you arrogant. They will call you cold. They will call you mysterious. Let them. While they are busy talking about you, you will be busy surpassing them. While they are begging for attention, you will be commanding respect. The era of the nice guy, the pleaser, the available doormat is over. That version of you is dead. We buried him today. Rise from the grave as the man who speaks with his actions and screams with his silence. Make them wonder, make them wait, make them beg. And in the end, you will realize that you didn't need them. They needed you. Welcome to the power of absence. Welcome to the shadows.